me. I don't doubt me. Let's get that straight. I don't doubt me. So the next question, the confidence level of me doing this job,
Yes.
I'm built for this. I don't doubt me.
How do you explain the past couple of weeks to recruits and their parents?
I don't have to explain it. They saw it. See, you got to understand, if you're a dog, you want to come here and right the wrong. If you're a cat, you look at the scoreboard and you run. Which one are you, a dog or a cat?
I like to think we're both dogs, William. If I gotta say one or the other.
Well,
I've been up since like 3 a.m. today. I'm grinding, man. The season just ended. I drove back from Manhattan, Kansas. I'm grinding out here. But I love this job, and this is one of my favorite days of the year.
I understand what he's saying, but the boss has cats, and so I'm not saying crazy cat lady yet, but that's probably all I should say with the dogs.
I like cats. I had a cat when I was in college, and I guess it's more the analogy that it is the actual species of the animal.
But Coach Prime, I love him. He's got his self confidence, and we've talked at length about. I think he's a guy that learns from his mistakes, and he'll do things better. But you and I talked about. I want to start out by saying to everybody, 11 recruits is not enough. We all agree with you, right? Yeah. But this podcast is not about the negativity and let's cry and complain and say the same stupid stuff over and over and over and over. Let's talk about the 11 guys we do have, because we've got some pretty good players here. That's what I'm here for tonight.
Mm-hmm. And that's part of the reason that I'm so excited to jump on this podcast with you, William, is that I've watched a lot of film in the last few days. I've talked to a lot of recruits. There is a lot of passion for Colorado. You're not human if you don't let that sink in a little bit, right?
Yeah. And if you're going to be in the public eye, and if you're going to do things like this, and you're going to get on social media, you're going to get the negativity and you're going to get the ugliness, and you get called names and whatever. So, you have to have a thick skin, but sometimes it can still get to you.
Yeah. Who's your favorite linebacker at the University of Colorado since Nate Landman graduated?
Since like Nikai Hill Green's probably the best one. I kind of like Levante Bentley and how he played.
All right, here we go. I got my Trust the Process hoodie from Vonta Bentley after he graduated from the University of Colorado. That's what I'm repping here on this show. Nice. And it's just hoping that there's some dogs, because, again, going back to this class, the linebackers group is pretty solid.
Yeah, this is a great group of linebackers. They all have got speed. Two of them, I think, can play Mike. Two of them can play outside, I think so. All three of them could play the will linebacker, and this is going to be the most speed we've brought in a linebacker in a long time. And all three of these guys are thumpers, man. They just hit. What was it? I'm trying to think of the quote somebody used about Carson Crawford, but he's the old saying that comes to my mind. He plays like his hair is on fire.
Yeah.
That guy, or like his butt's on fire and he's trying to put it out. I don't know, but that kid is his. When we watched his film back when he first committed, and I was just shocked at his rating. I was like, what the hell, man? This speaks for itself right here. And then he moved to Mike linebacker for his senior year, and I saw you talk to him, and he said he's working on his reads, his eyes and his reads. And if people don't know what that means, a middle linebacker got to look through the guards to the backs. And so your eyes tell you what you're seeing, and you have to make those reads immediately from the first movements. And then, so eyes and reads is what middle linebackers really need to work on. And then from there, if they have the instinct, they can be pretty good at it. But I do think that Rodney Colton is the most natural Mike backer in this group. But I think Crawford could play either one of those spots. And I like Colton as the Mike and Carson as the Will, kind of like Nikai Hill Green and Levante Bentley. were last year.
Yeah, I think with Carson Crawford initially there, who you talked about, I would say that he's kind of a hybrid of Nate Landman and Addison Gillum.
Maybe, yeah.
I know that's a high bar to like try to get over because Addison didn't finish out his career, but he was like an All-American level freshman at Colorado. I feel like those two guys are kind of like how his game kind of merges together.
I'm gonna go back farther than that. Quite frankly, what
Okay.
I see on film reminds me of Ted Johnson when he was at CU.
Okay.
Just his sticking his head, just getting after. I don't know, just getting after it and the aggressiveness and what have you. I was trying to think of some of the older guys. He's not really the same as some of the others, but I think that one's the one that comes to mind for me.
His attitude, dog mentality, A++. How long till his frame kind of fills out? A couple of years? A year and a half?
They're listing him 6'3", 215, which is big enough. That's the size Nate Landman came in. I think he's coming in as an early entry, so I think by next fall, I think you'll see a significant amount of growth on his body. Then he'll be big enough to play in his freshman year. He won't get to the full size for a year or two, but I think he'll be super effective.
Yeah. Rodney Colton, you mentioned there, that was a guy that dropped in the rankings, and I got to figure out what's going on there.
Yeah.
But he's a very talented guy that I think is going to be able to, at the very least, be a special teams guy from day one.
Well, I think Rodney Colton plays at linebacker from the start because I think he might be the most polished of them all. Plus, he's been in Georgia, and he's gone against big dudes. He's gone against talent, so he won't be too shocked or surprised by the linemen and such that he sees up at this level. I think Rodney Colton's an outstanding prospect of linebacker.
Yeah, and then where are we going from here?
Well, let's finish. Let's talk Colby Johnson if we want to stick.
Yeah.
Because Colby Johnson's a guy that most people are going to look at and think of it as an afterthought. Kind of the bottom of the class. But although bottom of the class this year means 86, which is still pretty good. But Colby Johnson, I think, is a guy. He might factor in a strong safety or nickel or something like that because he can really run. I mean, this guy can really run. He's got good size at 6'2", 200. He'll need to fill in if he's going to play the inside spots. But he's a guy you can use at a lot of positions out there on defense because this guy, and I had the numbers, had looked up some of his track numbers, and the kid can just really run. So Colby Johnson, I think, is a guy, you bring in guys with good frames who can run, and they're going to do something for you.
Before you have to reach through that screen and slap me because I've been up for a very long time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and I'm going to share my screen and see how this works out because we can. Here we go.
As long as you don't ask me to do any of the technical stuff because that'll be a nightmare. Although I'll tell everybody, Adam did forget to send me a link, so I was like 5 o'clock. What are we doing here?
Calling me out there. Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Try to stay away from dead air. That's all.
Well, I got to tell you, William, the reason I'm tired is that we've been doing signing day updates all day. Went on the morning run this morning. Ben Gula wrote a story on him. Film room feature with you, sir.
Yeah.
On Preston Ashley. Wrote a story on Maurice Williams. Wrote a story on Xavier Payne, wrote a story on Josiah Manu. We did our story leading up into today with the early signing period. Talked to our guy Crawford yesterday. Man, it's been a whirlwind since we finished the season. So I'm gonna stop patting myself on the back there. We talked about Carson Crawford. This is
We'll shout out a little bit to some of our regulars on the message board. Appreciate having you all here.
Yeah, no, we definitely appreciate that. Thank you all. And if you see any good questions in there, William, let me know. Carson Crawford, we talked about him. They're going to play in the semifinals of the state playoffs this weekend against Athens. So go Carson Crawford.
And I wonder with Carson, because he had two 5-star guys on his team, a running back and another linebacker, and I wonder if his rating wouldn't even be higher if those guys weren't there, because maybe they don't want to give all guys a 5-star rating, because his film is just nuts.
It really is. And my guy Jimmy Searfoss out there,
and I love the hair.
He's out there.
Love the hair. That looks like linebacker hair.
Welcome to the herd, Carson Crawford. You are going to be a good buff, man. Like that's one of those where you talk about some of these guys, William, and you wonder exactly how good they're going to be. This is one I don't have to spend a whole lot of time wondering about.
Yeah. Well, there's two guys in this class, to me especially, who I think are going to be ready right off the bat, and three guys: Carson Crawford, Rodney Colton, and Xavier Payne. But we'll get to him later.
Rodney Colton, we talked about him. We kind of started with linebacker, so it's great that these are coming up first. Took a lot of other official visits. What are you looking for?
I was just looking at that video down there. I wonder if you can make that bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Let people see a little bit of that. He's one of those guys, everybody. So he's going to be the Mike right there. Well, he's actually an outside linebacker. So he played a lot of outside as a junior. And that's a really nice taking on the block and just getting off to sack the quarterback. And then he played more Mike senior year. This is Colton we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, he's a guy that can also rush the passer if that's what you want him to do. All three of these guys are pretty versatile, and give you lots of things you can do. And here he is at outside on the top there. Well, so you sort of see how quick he is and instinctive off the ball. I wish we had some more of him at the Mike spot, because some of that stuff was pretty impressive. So he's not going to probably see too much outside on the edge like that for us. The guys who are sort of starting to get at the edge have body styles more like oh my gosh, McPherson and
London Merritt. Yeah.
But it's fun to watch some of these guys. Here he's on the bottom of the screen there. That poor quarterback's just getting beat up, which I don't feel too bad about. So, I don't know. It's difficult to see some of that on some of the high school stuff this is the angle I prefer when we're watching high school stuff.
Okay.
There's the screen, but that's a nice little push and swim and gets on the outside of that guy. That's a nice little pass rush move right there. Most guys don't use their hands very well in high school, and that was a good one right there. And then you got this angle is from the grassy knoll, I guess.
Look out, JFK.
Yes. No offense to anybody. Here he is at more of an inside spot. He's that Mike right there on the bottom of the two. Reading. So there it is. So people may think it's, he's not blocked there, and so it's an easy thing, but it's a good read to see that the ball was handed off and get down the line of scrimmage, because that's what you have to do, is keep flat to the line. And here you see his speed and pursuit, gets all the way across the field to jump on top of that tackle. So you want to move on to Crawford. Do you have any film for him?
I can throw his film up there for sure. With Rodney Colton Jr., I want to throw out there that this was somebody that was pursued deep into the recruiting process, despite the fact that his rating went down on 24/7 Sports, and so this was a very highly pursued player. He's very highly regarded. I want to put that out there before we move on to our next guy here.
Yeah, it's interesting sometimes that he may have the lower rating from Crawford, but he had substantially more significant offers from high level teams.
Yeah, his stats were I don't know how much Max Preps is to be.
And
he's got pretty good stats this season.
Yeah, he's a little bit thicker right off the bat than Crawford. I think he's a little bit shorter and a little bit thicker at 220 or so. So he probably has more meat on his bones.
Chilling out on Folsom Field right there.
Right there,
That's
right.
a good
right.
photo. I love that photo. Yeah.
So
this is not going to go well for our audio audience because you're looking at photos. Yeah. So I apologize for that, but you're still going to get a lot of meat on the bone if you listen to this, even if you can't see some of the stuff. But I would go to YouTube and check out some of the stuff. You want to see Carson Crawford's?
Yeah, and if people have questions about specific guys, throw them up there and we'll try to answer them. I know a lot of questions coming up now are sort of more process questions and things like that, but I think we're sort of focusing more on individual players.
I just want to enjoy these kids tonight, man. Like that's where I'm at. Like, we don't have a full senior reel here, so let's go to junior highlights where Carson's going to be more on the outside here, as
so
opposed
he's playing
to
outside linebacker as a junior, and then he's on the inside this year. Moved to Mike, so hopefully. Somebody asked about the Cherry Creek linebacker and the Valor guy, and I would just say, in-state guys have been listening to how much Colorado sucks for years, right? And that's all filled into their brain, and so I don't think they want to stay here. If they're not interested, then screw them. I'd say we go out of state and get better players. It's not good college. It's not good high school football here, so I'd rather have a guy from Georgia or Texas anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It's not anything against anybody, and we really enjoyed getting out to see Josiah Manu.
Yeah,
and I wish that it was Texas, California, Georgia, Florida, one of those other states. Here we go.
But I think a lot of the in-state players just have a negative attitude towards Colorado because that's all they've seen. They're up close on it, whereas guys from out of state don't hear about us as much. So just look at that explosion in speed. I mean, he just crushed that guy. That kid's mom is going to send me a nasty letter. And the thing is, so you look at him, he's number 12, and look at that adjustment in speed. But on his senior film, he is significantly thicker. You can notice it. Senior film, he's significantly thicker than this. And look at the speed, the closing speed to take that guy down. So he's just relentless. Sees things quickly and doesn't get fooled by fakes and handoffs and whatever. So I think Carson Crawford is just a superb player, and I wish we had more film of him and Mike this year.
There are films of him in that role. It would take a long time to go through all those ads for everybody that's tuning in right now. So I figured this was the best way.
And so, like that last play, he just crushed that kid. I don't know if people could see it, but here he is. Just sneaks in. I wish we'd go back on that, because that last play was prototype linebacker play, because he didn't take on the blockers. He snuck in behind them and made a tackle for a loss, which that's what Nate Lamon used to do. It's just get behind those pulling guys and blow the thing up. And here you see how fast he is out on the open field, making that tackle. But taking on a big guy. And here it's just relentless. I mean, he came from all the way on the other side of the field to get that guy. So I love his motor. He plays the way a linebacker's supposed to play. He got a nice inside step there with a rip. I don't know if everybody saw it, but he took that blocker and just knocked him on his backside. So he's an exciting player to me all the way around. I think if we can get next time we see a play from behind, I want to talk about the eyes and such for the middle linebackers. But I just enjoy watching his film. And
he's my favorite guy in this class. I'm going to put that out there.
He's like an Energizer Bunny, man. I think people are going to love this guy. And he's a football player, you know, he just makes things happen. He understands the game, you know, nice chop move to keep the guy's hands off of him, inside chop move to keep the guy from getting a hand on him. He's been taught some things here. He's got some nice moves and techniques. So they've got him spread out over the slot receiver now, and he's dropping into coverage. And watch this, almost had that pick. So he's a kid that not only can he play inside, but you can drop him into coverage and he can stay with tight ends or whatever. You know, here's he got a block, and that's just perfect linebacker play. He's got the edge, and so he keeps the edge there, and then the guy tries to cut it up inside, and that's when he makes the play. So here's some really good stuff on run plays. I think that what you're seeing, there's a nice little rip move. So. Yeah, I'm not shocked. I see Bomari Burrows there. I was not surprised at all when he got that 4th star, because I was watching this stuff and just thinking, man, this guy's got missed by a lot of people. He's just got an eye for the ball, a nose for the ball. I think he created some ridiculous number of fumbles in his junior year. So I think he's just an exciting guy to watch. You know, you put 20 pounds on that kid in CU weight room, and he's going to be a home wrecker, man.
Yeah. Another one of my favorites, William, is Preston Ashley. This young man has been very solid with the Colorado Buffaloes for a while. Any thoughts here?
Well, the first thing I want to say is you got to love a kid with a smile like that, man. You know, that just makes you feel good.
Yeah. Lots of offers. We can pull them up here.
Oh my God! Didn't I count? He had 17 Power 4 offers.
It's a lot of offers. Yeah,
something like that.
Alabama, come on! What are you doing here? Let's delve into his senior year here. Defensively,
they list him as a safety at I think he's 6 foot. I don't know what his latest.
He's gonna play nickelback for the Buffs. He's going to play nickelback. That's where they see him fitting in. And he was the one that made this. Oh, goodness. This was the did you hear that audio there when I was playing?
No,
Okay.
He's grown. He's up to about 6 foot 180. Runs a sub 4.5 40, and I think he can play all 5 of the spots in the secondary. But I love, if you're watching this video, this is what they send to every recruit. Pro cards of all the players that played at CU and things like that, and the coaches and what have you. So I think that's a pretty cool approach to how they do it. But Preston Ashley, you know, he's from down in Mississippi and plays both ways. I think he's a guy that could be a go both ways athlete. So again, you bring in the guys with a frame like that, 6 foot 180, who can run, and you can use them in a lot of ways. Oh, everybody try to read the board back there. That's the hot board.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I tried to look into that a little bit earlier, but then because I saw David Kelly over there just really staring at it. I'm like, why is he so intently looking at this thing over here?
Right. Hey, dude, they're trying to zoom in for us. I appreciate it.
No, I like it though. Corey Phillips, Darius Dardenbachs, you guys work your butts off, man. Yeah. Like I don't know if I've covered 2 recruiting folks at CU that have done better than those 2 guys, and we've had those other discussions. We've done them already. We will do them again, but for today,
we did a film room on Preston Ashley, so we got a lot out there on our board.
Did.
Go look at. But he's a very impressive player. I think he'll play early for us in the secondary and really brings a lot to the table. So,
so check in on that on BuffStampede.com. Like it's on the front page right now. our film room there. Oh no, we don't want to see that. Jesus.
Why
did that come up?
That's all right. We'll just skip
Oh no. Oh no.
So how about we go? How about we feed me? Go to the offensive line.
Yeah. Well, I'm going down the list of all the guys that were on my signees list going into today, but it was like a while ago, so I prepped a little bit too early for this because I knew that signing day was like a few days after the season finale. So we'll go here. This is in your wheelhouse, Xavier Payne.
Yeah. So Xavier Payne, man, he's a key. This kid is 6'7", 320, and he is his frame. He is going to be ginormous because I almost can't believe he's 320 looking at him without pads on. So when he starts getting in the weight room and filling in that upper body, this kid's going to be a monster. He's 6'7". He's got long arms. He plays left tackle in high school. And he just got really nice technique, really physical. And I just love what I see from this kid. I think Xavier Payne fits into the tackle rotation right off the bat, unless we really fill it up in the portal.
He's got a great personality too. He is a dog. He's kind of as we're looking at his Twitter feed here. I love that he loves to throw his belly out there too. Where are we going here? He took all those photos down, didn't he? Dang. He was just like showing off his gut, just like proud as hell of it.
The one on the right-hand corner looks interesting. But did you say he's quite a character in the interviews?
He has a personality. I can't wait to cover his college career with the Buffaloes. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to get his senior or his junior highlights up here soon. But
he's a guy that really has good feet and good hands, and he's been taught well. He got nice technique for a high school kid. And I got a picture up on my other computer that shows really how huge he is. And unfortunately, I'm technologically challenged, so I can't find it on this other one where we're he also, somebody on the board today also said, kind of looks like Captain Jack Sparrow with his head long hair. So he's the left tackle. He just handled a nice spin move there. Here he's got a kid, and now you may not think that's impressive right there.
That kid wanted nothing to do with any of it.
Right.
That.
and what was key on Payne, and that one he just laid on the kid, but on that first one, he was patient. He didn't commit, he didn't lunge, he didn't jump. He just waited and he mirrored the kid, and that's what you do. And there, he just ran that guy past the quarterback. These things sometimes I don't get enough time to. So here he is, left hand. If you look at that stance, that is nice. He took that kid and had a really nice stance, and then came forward, and his footwork was good. Here's 2 plays in a row with really good run blocks where he really moved this guy out of there. Here's a guy trying. Some of these kids are trying everything they could think of. And there he just took that guy down past the quarterback. But he's just patient and keeps his body in the right location, keeps his back straight. He's been well taught in his technique, and I think it's going to show up early for us. But he comes in with the kind of size that can play early. And he'll be here in January, so that's even more of an advantage for him. And I think he is, to me, the most polished big tackle we've signed in the prime era, even more so maybe than Carday Smith, who really needed some time to put some weight on his body. But I think he's going to be a factor. I think Payne could play all 5 linebackers or all 5 line spots. He snapped the ball. He could play center. He could play guard. But at 6'7", with his length, you want him out there, one of those tackles. He just buries guys.
He said that he has only given up 2 pressures this season, 0 sacks.
Yeah.
As a left tackle for a quarterback that signed with Miami this year. He was talking about the fact that they went into the playoffs, and when you get in the playoffs, other teams are much better about game planning against you.
Right.
So they were, dropping 8 in coverage, and they really had to establish their run game. So he's gotten some experience in that side of it as well here recently.
Yeah. And that's good for him. I mean, where most kids, they all practice the pass protection, where they need work is on their technique for the run game. I mean, even Jordan Seaton needs a lot of work in his run blocking. But so that's a nice play right there, and that shows where length is, because he just kept that guy at an arm's length. And he got a nice punch. I don't know if you could see on that one, the outside hand just stopped that kid's momentum in its tracks. So I think Xavier Payne's a guy who potentially could play very. Oh man, I don't know. Sometimes I watch these things and I think I'm a bad human being watching these guys beat up these other kids. But
it's human nature, man. Yeah. Thanks, Big Mike. We appreciate you, man. For the super chat there. Monterey Tim's. Oh gosh, I should have cleared this up.
Yeah, everybody. Adam keeps putting up all the guys that didn't show up. So I don't know. We have to give him a beating. Here's a guy I really like, Ben Gula, man. This kid plays nasty, which is good.
Yeah, he's an underrated guy in this class, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think he's a guy. He's at about 6'5", 290 at this point, and his video is just violent. He's got offers from a lot of good schools. He's playing tackle in high school, but I'm certain he'll be inside a guard, and he's going to be one of those 6'5", 320-pound road graders. And I think I was looking at his film, and he just is nasty and knocking people down. So hopefully we can get that up there. But he's a guy. We'll go back here. That he's rated an 86, but he's a 3-star 86, but he's significantly better than that, both in terms of his video and his offers. So I mean, I'm looking. He's got an Indiana offer, and that they've got some serious linemen up there: Maryland, South Florida, Syracuse, Texas A&M, Wake Forest, Miami. So he's got some offers, and I just really think that his film is impressive to me. Both, he's got length. He plays with physical nastiness, and if we can get this playing, hopefully we can see some of that.
Yeah, let's pull up his senior film. It just dropped here. We're talking within the last week or so. So we can get into that. But again, another reason that I want to kind of keep this about the guys that are signing with Colorado today, as opposed to the disappointment over 3-9, is the fact that I've gotten a chance to interact with most of these guys, and it's hard not to root for them as human beings, right?
Yeah. And when you look at that linebacker group we already talked about, and you look at this offensive line group, and all three guys in both of those groups are legit, legit guys. Manu we could talk about because we actually saw him in person, but Ben Gula, man. So he's at the left tackle for them, but again, I think he's going to wind up as an inside guy for us. But I don't know if you saw that play, but he drove that guy and almost threw him into the goalpost.
Yeah.
And so watch him. Here's the left tackle, and this is just all there is in his film. Is he just, the dude plays mean, and I love that. He's only got one way to play, and that's beat you up, kick your ass. So that to me is what I want in a guard, is a guy that just got that mean attitude and just wants to pummel everybody. So I think this kid, in a couple of years, he'll be 6'5", 320 and be a guard for us and just be brutalizing dudes. So I'm real excited about him. Again, he's a left tackle. So he's another guy who could play all 5 spots on the line. And I'm not sure. I don't think the tackle's probably his initial place in college, but he's a guy like who's our big guy to finish the season, left tackle for us.
Kareem Harden.
Kareem Harden, yeah. So he's a guy like Kareem Harden, except better, I think, who could help you at all 5 spots if needed. And the only thing about offensive line film is I don't give a damn what the quarterback does after the play. Let's see the big guys. The person guys can go do what they do. Now this play is great because it's a screen and he throws this guy, which is great technique, and then he comes out here and has the agility to hit the smaller guys. And look, I think a lot of big guys would have gone down with that pile under their feet. He was able to step over it and stay in the play. So kind of hard to see on this one. He's all the way on the opposite side of the field, but really nice technique, and he finishes it by burying the guy. So I think that Ben Gula is another one that I'm really excited about, and that's a pancake right there. There's no question that's a pancake, folks. He took that guy off the line and drove him 3 yards and put him on his back. So that's what you want to see in terms of aggressive offensive lineman. And got out and took that outside linebacker. He's got a nice little, he uses his hands well, locks people up and then puts them on the ground. I think, Payne and Gula don't have the 4 stars like Gooden and Cardi Smith, but I think they're just as good.
Okay. We've heard a lot of good things about Chauncey Gooden, and Coach Prime has even brought him up. So that's a guy that they expect to be a starter for them next season. I'm smiling, William, because I'm glad we figured out this technology. We're going to have fun with this. And I can pause it if you ever go, hey, stop it.
Because you're laughing at me because I'm getting all excited watching kids get punched around.
No, I just you've been telling me for years that we need to figure out how to do this.
I just wish we need some of the better, sort of overhead, closer up angles of some of these.
You want the drone angle? Is it what you're looking at? Okay. Well, I don't like technology and drones and robots and all AI, all that stuff. So count me out.
Yeah.
I'll take my grainy huddle video and be happy with it.
Yeah, well, back in my day, you had to put it on a projector and with reels and go back and
forth. Yeah. You think I'm so young, man. I remember projectors when I was in school.
Yeah.
I don't know why are they trying to sell me like cat pajamas? Like, okay, that is not a thing for me.
All right. I'm gonna need a mute button because I was trying to illustrate something there. They sent him downfield on a screen receiver. So
what is how do you get rid of this? Like what do you have to do here?
I don't know.
Not interested in this ad. Go away. Cat pajamas.
Let's move.
My poor teenage daughter is probably like searching for cat pajamas right now, and I'm messing that up. But I don't really need that in my life right now.
Yeah.
Josiah Manu, we saw him together in person. I put that video back up today.
We went out there.
We're really rooting for this young man. He's a good kid, man. Yeah,
he's listed here 6'5", 295. But when we were out there and we were talking with him, I took my picture with him. I mean, he's 6'4", and he was about 270 because he was down to play defensive end for them as well. But he's going to be an inside guy. I don't think he's going to be a tackle, and I think he's going to be a little bit more of a prospect. He'll take some time to develop, but he's very athletic. And he may grow up to be 6'5". He's not there yet. But I don't think he'll have any problem getting up to 300. He's been at 300 before, and he just slimmed down a little bit to play both ways this year.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. Again, Derek Markle, who put this together, man, that is like one of those things in your grave you should just have thrown in there because you should be so proud of this project that he put together with these official offers. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Josiah Manu, what's going on? No, we probably should. I haven't vetted this stuff, so I shouldn't.
Yeah, we better. I don't think you want to just go randomly into some high school social media because we might get complaints.
Yeah. So we don't have new senior film of him.
No.
Check out our video of him. Colby Johnson, linebacker. I feel like this is going to be a special teams guy pretty early on.
Oh, who are we looking at now?
Colby Johnson.
Yeah.
Linebacker from Washington.
He's a kid. Again, we talked about earlier how much speed he's got. And, he runs track. I think he runs 100. So he's a guy that can just plain run. And I think he could factor in, at safety maybe because, you look at how he's played here and he can just run and does coverage. But you see he's got a really nice frame, and nice speed. Kind of runs away from those guys there. Here he's playing running back, it looks like. So who was it? McIntyre used to say that the best linebackers are former running backs.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They kind of know what how the running backs.
Okay, now that is a great inside linebacker play. He reads the play, he kind of waits there for a second, then he just explodes. If you see those first few steps of his acceleration, that's beautiful. So here he is again, biggest guy on the field and just outrunning all those guys. So I think this guy has really got some possibilities for us. I think he could you could split him out on slot guys and tight ends and whatever. But he'll need some time to fill in a little bit to play up on the line. Although he did a nice job there, taking on that block and getting off of it. Here that's more of a Mike right there. And look at the speed to just outrun the blocks. He didn't take on the blocks, he just outran them. He got good feet. You look and see people keep hitting his feet and he doesn't go down, doesn't trip over the yard line like some guys. So
like some guys we saw last season.
Yeah. Well, let's not be mean. Guys who may or may not currently be on the CU team. But I think that he's a guy I think that can really help us. Like you said, if nothing else, special teams right off the bat. Probably a quarterback at linebacker, he may need a little time, but I think he might be a guy who could even help us a little at strong safety or something like that.
Yeah, I'm glad that they stuck with him despite not being, the highest rated guy, as you can see here. But you can be frustrated after 3 and 9, but there are some really talented individuals in this class, and some underrated guys that I honestly I can't wait to cover their career.
Yeah, I think there's some guys in here that are really going to help us very early and have some good careers. And we could sit here. Everybody wants to cry and piss and moan about there's only 11 guys. All right, well that's an old and tired argument already by this time today. So if that's where your problem is, I'm not going to talk about that. But I think there should be more high school players on this class, but there's not. So let's just look at who we got.
Agree 100%. Domata Peko Jr., who's actually a JUCO recruit from Ventura College, is coming to play on the same defense that his father coaches as the defensive tackles coach, Domata Peko Sr. We're going to have to wait for Joseph Peko's announcement at the All Poly Bowl in mid-January. He was injured late in the season. Let me try to pull up his stats here pretty quick, but he was very disruptive early in the season. Domata Peko was. He had a lot of pass breakups. Any thoughts here with Domata Peko?
The one question I had for you is what's his class? What eligibility does he have left?
I think he's got three years left, is what I understand.
So he'll be a little bit older. And you got to know that he's been taught tricks of the trade and taught the game by his father his whole life. because families like that, they go out in the backyard and beat each other up. So
Yeah.
I think he'll come in with an understanding of the game and technique and whatever. But I was looking at some of his film today, and he's really nice off the edge. So I think he's for sure an edge guy, and will fit in really nicely with London Merritt and Alexander McPherson. And clearly those two guys, you're gonna have to be something to beat out one of those guys. But I think he will make good depth there right off the bat for us, which is what you want from a JUCO guy.
Yeah, I was looking at his stats. He's definitely a guy that can get his hands on balls. So
Yeah.
he definitely. And dang it, Neely, he chastised me for saying that. Get his hands on balls back during preseason camp.
Yeah, that's probably one.
He can bat down passes that are thrown at the line beyond the line of scrimmage.
Let's say what somebody said in the chat earlier. You got a nose for the ball. How about that?
There you go. You go.
Not nose on balls, but boy, we just went down. Yeah, I love watching his dad jumping around as a Bronco there. That's a big thing, dude.
Mo Williams, I like this guy. To me, he's my most underrated. And I do a signing day feature every year, but I wait till after February just to get the whole class together, and I do an most underrated category. And if you look back over the years, William, I've been pretty good in terms of predicting that. Mo Williams is my guy this year, I think.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad choice at all. And I think you look at him coming out of New Orleans, and he's played against some good football teams. So he's a guy I think that we can be excited about. Now having trouble with my computer. I don't know why you did something to me.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. Can you see the film that's going on here with Mo?
Yeah.
As he's returning an interception.
Yeah, and I think he's another guy that gives us options that, as a punt and kick returner too. But here's, this is really nice coverage right there. And I think he can run with people. He's got good hips. He turns and sees the ball. We're bringing in, I don't know if we're going to talk about Alexander Ward tonight, but we're bringing in three guys that'll wind up in the secondary as well. And I think all three of them are pretty good players.
And speaking of Maurice Williams, this is a young man that doesn't know how to lose. They went 14-0 last year, won the Louisiana State Championship in their classification last year. This year, they're 12-0. They're in the semifinals. He is accustomed to winning, which you always like to see. It doesn't always mean anything specifically in terms of the next level, but you want guys that kind of hold themselves to a standard, right?
And Louisiana football is pretty good too, so you see some talent down there. And I think that he's a guy that's significantly underrated, like you said, but he's 5'11", 175 or so. So he's going to come in at that and help us out at that corner spot. So Georgia Tech was after him. Got an offer from Houston, Ole Miss. So a lot of people were looking at him. I don't know why he had a UCF offer, Washington offer. So I think his rating as a recruit probably ought to be higher based on his offers. But I think this kid's going to come in and be a player.
And going back to Neely, he confirmed that there's not a cornerback that's going to enter the Colorado Buffaloes program without a stamp of approval from Deion Sanders. And I would imagine that stamp of approval has gotten a touch more strict based off this past season.
The other thing that stands out to me, the other thing that stands out to me from this film is that he will hit people when he comes up and takes people out on the run. He's a pretty solid tackler. That was a nice play there, but so he can support in the run, which was clearly a problem with our cornerbacks this year. And I I think he'll add to that group. And so we talked about him. We talked about Preston Ashley, who'll be a nickel and can play all those positions back there too.
Yeah.
And
Maurice Williams. Yeah. I'm excited about this signing, even though he's a little bit lower rated than some others.
Then all we got left is the Ward brothers, right?
Let's go down the list. It's an adventure on this podcast today. They're going to play Catholic on Friday at 7 p.m. All right. We watched this film. Oh, no, we don't want that. Get out of here. Go. All right. Here we go. Christian Ward. Any thoughts to lead off here? He's going to be a bigger receiver that's going to join the program. I kind of saw a little bit of Will Shepherd in his game.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'3", 200 pounds. I mean, this guy had an Alabama offer, a Georgia offer, really had offers from a lot of different people, Georgia Tech, Indiana. So a lot of people wanted him. And his brother, who we'll talk about next, is actually rated a little bit higher than him. But I think Christian Ward, frankly, should be a 4-star. As of now, he's a 3-star, 87. But I think he's a 4-star based on both his size and his play and his offers. But he's another one of those big 6'3" wide receivers that's going to cause up matchup problems. And I love his hands and his speed and his confidence. Coming from IMG Academy, he's going to be well coached. So I think he could be just like Farrakhan, and who's our other freshman last year, wide receiver.
Quentin Gibson.
Yeah, could have an immediate impact at some point next season.
Let's dive into his film here.
It's funny you watch. Well, somebody made a mistake there.
Yeah.
Oops.
Not supposed to be that wide open.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, hey, that fits right into the Pat Shurmur offense right there, except it worked. Was that too?
No, I'm sorry. Coach Shurmur had that coming, man, after the results this past season. And we're trying to keep it above the level, but that one, I'm going to allow that one.
All right. Well, and so you look at Christian Ward here, and what I see is not only the speed and athleticism, but got great body control. He can turn himself in space, stops on dime, can really drives the guys off and can turn and do that button hook. But he has really good body control along the sidelines as well, which at 6'3" is going to, again, like you said, be similar to Will Shepherd. And again, the Shurmur offense. Is Shurmur's kid coaching this team? Yeah. Well, except that they throw in the middle of the field, so that's not Shurmur. Sorry, I'm on a little bit of a rant here.
It had to get here somewhere. I'm sure at some point.
I'm not sure they got that much better. Somebody on the board said the Bubbles got better. I'm not sure they got that much better. But if I may just return to a rant, I don't know why we just didn't run the ball in the second half against Kansas State. Okay, back to the players today. Somebody asked today earlier, why didn't we sign a big running back? Well, who the hell wants to come to a place where the running backs don't get the ball? So hopefully that'll get fixed with a new offensive coordinator. But so Christian Ward, I think, is a heck of a player, and he comes as a package with his brother, who really is just as exciting as he is. And you think he'll wind up on the defensive side?
It's yet to be determined. He's listed as an athlete, but yeah, I would think so. He's already 6'1", 174. I'm thinking safety for him.
Yeah, I think he'd be a guy well, he's a guy, he could be
What's going on with these cat ads? Do you see this over here?
Yeah, don't point it out. that reflects what you search for, pal.
No. I will say no until we.
You better be quick. You better be quick, in case something else comes up that you don't want all of us to see. But
I have no idea what's going on with that, man. It's weird. But
I hope your daughter's looking at stuff and not like that. But Alexander Ward, he's also obviously at IMG Academy, just like his brother, and he's got a lot of the same offers, Alabama and Auburn, Florida State. A lot of teams really came after Georgia, gave him an offer. A lot of teams came after the Ward brothers, and they stuck with us, So
yeah,
people say Coach Prime and his staff can't recruit, but they can do a little bit of recruiting. But I think,
it's one of those things, William. It's very like people want to just have it be black or white. There's a lot of gray area in this world, and that's kind of the where we navigate in this podcast, right? It is like here's the good, the bad, the ugly, in trying to sift through that. And sometimes people like want the answers right away, and sometimes they're not there right away. And so you kind of navigate it that way. But Coach Prime can recruit the heck out of any other coach in college football. I don't want to keep beating a dead horse here, but like get on the road, recruit in home visits with transfer portal recruiting. And if you do that, then I think Colorado is going to have a very successful 2026 season. With prep recruiting, you've had these kids we've talked about today on campus. You've had them there, and so you don't necessarily need to have Coach Prime on the road for them. For the transfers?
Yeah. Can I break in and have you put Rob 4294's message from the board up for everybody to see? Those cat pajamas were disturbing. Thank you. I agree.
I 1,000% agree. I've been trying to tell Google Ads or whatever the hell is going on there. I have no freaking clue.
Anyway, getting back, I think both of the Ward brothers are guys who could be gray jersey guys. I mean, to play both ways.
Yeah.
Either one of those guys could do that. Maurice Williams is another one, frankly. So we got some athletes in this class. It's not a big class, but the only guy in this class that I really feel like is a reach is Josiah Manu. But I'm pretty excited about just about everybody else on here.
Well, Josiah, he's going to have to develop, and it's hard to project, especially offensive linemen. When he came over to see us, I thought he was pretty slight. And then he explained the fact that he is the weight that he is that he's got to play defensive end for his team. And getting a chance to talk to Josiah, I mean, that kid is going to do everything he can for his teammates, his family. Great kid. Like you take a chance on somebody like that.
Hard worker. I guess, when we went out there to see him, this is why I always want to see him personally and why I want to get a photo with him. I know how damn tall I am. Okay. So if I stand next to him, I know how tall they are. And he's not 6'5", Now, that's being said, he's got great length. He's got really nice long arms, and people may think, I know every time I say that, some people laugh and go, long arms, what the hell's that got to do with anything? It's got everything to do with playing offensive line and defensive line. Bomari Burrows said, can't measure heart, and that's for sure, so you hard to bet against a guy with that kind of work ethic and want to. So I think we brought in 3 good offensive linemen, 3 really good linebackers, 3 good guys for the secondary, and a good wide receiver. So, there's a lot of positives in this class. We can go back to tomorrow to complaining about that there's too few guys and whatever. And I think with all the coaching changes that this may be a year where more things happen in the second signing window.
Possibly. I think there's going to be a couple guys there. There could even, William, I'm hearing that there might be something coming down the pike during this early signing period. I'm a little bit apprehensive because I opened up today talking about how Colorado was going to flip another Power 4 guy, and that was a done deal last night. It really was. And James Franklin goes to Virginia Tech. This was a Penn State commit, and there was a financial package that when you're trying to gear up for a big NIL season to try to fix some things like linebacker, cornerback, you got a lot of spots. You got to be smart about it. And so, I don't want to set people's expectations out of whack, but there are some things that are working behind the scenes. And I guess I'll do my sales pitch and say, go to BuffStampede.com every day, and I will tell you what I hear.
Yeah. And that's all you can really do, and I hope people are still working behind the scenes. And then how long does this signing period stay open?
Till Friday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then there's going to be a long dead period. Then you get the transfer portal stuff. There will be a window in there in January before the February late signing period where guys can take visits. There are not as many unsigned guys as I expected after today. I was kind of surprised by that, but I don't know how binding this is because it's not a national letter of intent.
Yeah.
And until you get on campus, if it's like the transfer stuff, we've seen this over the years with Colorado, that you can sign financial aid paperwork and change your mind. It's binding to the school, but not to you.
Right. And I think, we talked a little bit about it on an earlier podcast. People are up in arms that there's only 11 guys in this class, but, a lot of classes in previous years before Coach Prime, we've signed 20 guys, but 10 of them aren't worth a damn, so I think we got 11 guys and they're all quality guys, and we did pretty well, and it's not out of line. I mean, Baylor only has 12, UCLA has 14, Virginia, let's see, UCF only has 13 commits, and so a lot of the teams that are in our conference didn't sign a hell of a lot more guys than we did. And then I'm trying to get down here to the bottom end, and then you got where we go. I love Nebraska only has 10 signees, and trying to find Penn State because I think they're down near the bottom somewhere. So I don't know. We did better than a lot of people. Yeah, Penn State has two. That's horrifying. So I don't know.
Man.
I'm not trying to sell anybody.
It's a couple of diehards in there, man. They don't even know who their head coach is going to be.
Right.
Goodness gracious. Or their position coach. Probably.
I'm not trying to sell everybody and make everybody be all happy, skippy about 10 recruits, but it's not the end of the world either. And I think the 10 guys we got are quality dudes,
Instead of going 3-9, if they went 9-3, today would have been even more joyous. I think we can agree on that. But it is, given 3-9, I would say this is a pretty darn good group of young players joining the Buffs.
Yeah, and then I think, I got to make this comment. Nebraska signed 9 players and 1 kicker. Wait for it. I knew it'd get through there. So.
Oh, man. So what did you actually backed me up on a long snapper story on our message board, though. So I'm not going to give you flack on this special teams thing anymore. You've earned the reprieve from all that.
I like long snappers. They put on pads, they get in the middle of scrum, and a lot of times they run down and knock people on their backside. I'm just not a big fan of purse carrying quarterbacks, kickers, and punters. Now if a punter like who's our guy was Australian rules football, that guy's a football player, right? He'll knock
David Greaves, yeah.
He'll knock you in the dirt. I'm all for that, And Alejandro Mata gets a pass from me because he can dance. So,
Yeah. Mata, he took too much flack during his career, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I get it. It was a kind of a slow approach to the ball and kind of low, and it did kind of lead yourself to be able to be blocked more easily. But over the course of his career, he was pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he ever cost us a game. So,
No. He won the Buffs a game at Arizona State. I was there, man. That was a fun moment. And Coach Prime said, like, to your point, get back out there and dance, man. Like, celebrate.
Yeah. So, I think there's a lot to like in this class. I think a lot. I hope and I feel like we're got a pretty good hit rate on this group, and some of these guys can help us right away. I still go back, and I think I said this on every podcast for the last couple of months. With Coach Prime missing so much of last year with cancer and everything, it's got to have had some impact on everything that happened in this program. So hopefully that's going to make for things happening better this year than last year.
Yeah, I think everybody that is associated with the Colorado Buffaloes football program hopes that 2026 provides more memorable moments. I was just up in my kitchen. My mother makes a calendar for us every year, and she takes these like random photos and puts them on the calendar. And there was a photo of the Heisman Trophy ceremony that we went out to last year.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's less than a year ago right now. That's crazy to think about. We've kind of all been through it. Coach Prime the most, like you said, with cancer, and he's survived this. And I'm anxious to see what this program can provide next year. I get the skeptical eye that some folks have out there, though, for sure. And K.A. Stevens 14, appreciate the super sticker there. Appreciate you. William, now that we figured out the technology, man, we're going to just be going crazy with these film rooms.
Yeah. We got to practice on it there and get you to talk, get you. Sometimes I got to get you to calm it down there. I'm trying to explain something here.
Well, I've been up since 3 a.m. I'm on fumes, and I'm just trying to get through this.
This is about the longest day of the year for you, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And I did a lot of prep, and I'm proud of the work we did on BuffStampede.com today. This is the very end of all of it. So if you don't hear from me for a second, I'm sleeping.
Yeah. Well, and well deserved. So.
All right. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, William. We'll be back soon with another Buff Stampede Radio. Is your business growing but not quite ready for a full-time CFO? Macaulay Capital offers fractional CFO services for companies doing more than $3 million in annual revenue. You get expert financial leadership without the full cost. Learn more about how you can improve your business's profitability and cash management at MacaulayCapital.com. If you know Boulder, you know the Hungry Toad. We've been serving this town since 1991, long before the lines on Pearl Street. Just north of campus, we're your local British pub with proper fish and chips, quality burgers, a scratch kitchen, real English cask ale, and no tourist fluff. We support CU football, women's soccer, and the loyal fans who keep it local. The Hungry Toad, Boulder-born, Buffs proud.